A lot of people are not broke after payday because they are lazy. They are broke after payday because their money is being used in the wrong order. That is the real issue. You get paid, you breathe for a second, a few bills get handled, a few things get bought, and a little pressure comes off. Then a week or two later, the money already feels thin again. That is not peace. That is a cycle. Relief, spending, pressure, catch up, and then it starts again. If that sounds familiar, I want you to catch this early. This video is not here to shame you. It is here to help you see what is actually going on. Because a lot of people are not dealing with a pure income problem first. They are dealing with a problem in how their money is organized. Let's use Marcus. Marcus brings home $4,000 a month after taxes. That is not rich, but it is not nothing either. That is real working person income. And still, for a lot of people, $4,000 feels like it disappears. Now let's make that real. Picture Marcus looking at his bank app on payday. The deposit hits, and for a moment he feels better. But now watch what happens next. Rent takes $1,400. His car note takes $450. Insurance takes $180. Groceries take $500. Gas takes $220. Phone and internet take another $160. Then one dinner out, one quick order, and one small bill he forgot about start pulling on what is left. Now the money does not feel like $4,000 anymore. Why? Because the money comes in, the bills hit, a few things get handled, a few things get enjoyed, something gets forgotten, something unexpected shows up, and before long, that paycheck that looked good on Friday starts feeling weak by the middle of the month. That is what I want to slow down. Because once you understand how money should move, you stop blaming yourself for everything and start fixing the setup. If payday makes you feel safe for a few days, but not stable for the full month, your problem may not be effort. It may be order. If money hits your account and you feel relief but not control, your money is not fully organized. If you work hard, get paid, handle the urgent bills, and still feel like your account is always recovering instead of progressing, your money is probably not being assigned correctly. That is the real issue. And by the end of this episode, I want you to walk away with one clear idea. Your paycheck has jobs. If it does not move in the right order, pressure follows. My name is Melvin. I grew up watching my parents struggle with money, not because they were irresponsible, but because they didn't have the right information. So I studied how money really works. And now I'm here to teach you. Subscribe if you want to manage your money and build your wealth the right way. So let's slow this down the right way. Let me show you what payday is actually doing to people. Payday is emotional. That does not mean people are weak. It means money affects how people feel. When you have been carrying pressure all week or all month, a deposit feels like relief, and relief can make people careless. Here's one of the biggest mistakes people make. They confuse relief with being okay. Relief says, finally, I can breathe. Being okay says, I actually have enough structure to handle this month. Those are not the same thing. A deposit can give you relief even when the setup underneath it is still weak, and if you miss that difference, you start spending based on a feeling instead of a system. That is why some people look fine right after payday and stress 10 days later. The money itself was real. The problem was the order. And here's something I want you to notice. Most people do not blow their whole paycheck all at once. They leak it. They spend out of the same account that is supposed to hold everything, so every dollar starts looking available. That is dangerous. When the money for survival, enjoyment, protection, and later life is all sitting together, the account balance starts lying to you. It looks like one pile, it feels like one pile, and people start treating it like one pile. That is when the mental math gets sloppy. I can do this and still be okay. I'll make it up next check. I deserve something too. It's only one payment. It's not that much. I'll start saving next month. That thinking is common. It is also expensive. And catch this. The problem is not always the purchase. The problem is what the purchase jumped ahead of. If dinner jumped ahead of protection, that matters. If upgrades jumped ahead of growth, that matters. If fun jumped ahead of the basics, that matters. That is why money has to be organized by responsibility, not just desire. Because desire is loud, responsibility is quiet. And if you do not give responsibility first claim on your paycheck, desire usually wins. So ask yourself this honestly. When payday hits, do you already know what each dollar is supposed to do? Or do you mostly react after the deposit lands? That answer tells you a lot. Let me give you some warning signs. If your account looks decent on payday, but your confidence confidence drops every week after that, that is a warning sign. If you keep telling yourself, I make too much to still feel this behind, that is a warning sign. If every month feels manageable until one irregular expense shows up, that is a warning sign. If you can cover your bills but cannot build breathing room, that is a warning sign. If your money works hard for the current month but almost never makes the next month stronger, that is a warning sign. And here is another one people do not talk about enough. When you start depending on future income to clean up current decisions, that sounds like this. I'll catch it next check. I'll move it around later. I'll deal with that after this bonus. I'll start saving when this season passes. Now sometimes life really is tight. That is real. But sometimes people are not just financially tight. They are structurally loose. Those are not the same thing. A tight season may mean you need more income, more patience, or temporary sacrifice. A loose system needs correction, and correction starts with telling the truth about the pattern. The truth usually shows up in the same place every month. The money comes in, but nothing really gets stronger. This is also why I do not separate small money lessons from big money lessons. Basic finance is not beneath serious people. Basic finance is what serious people respect. How you handle a paycheck affects how you handle debt. How you handle debt affects how you handle credit. How you handle credit affects what borrowing costs you. What borrowing costs you affects how much breathing room you have each month. And that breathing room affects what you can protect. So when I tell people to get the order right, I'm not just talking about getting through the month. I'm talking about changing where their money life is headed. That is why I spend time on the basics. Because if you do not understand how your money is supposed to work, the bigger money stuff gets harder to do right. And the more you understand now, the easier it gets to tell your money where to go later. That matters because a weak month today can turn into a weak year later. And enough weak years can leave people older, tired, and still depending on work as the money never got organized early enough. Now let me give you the system. Think about your money going in 4 directions. Let's call it the 4-part money system. Stability is what keeps the house running. Lifestyle is the money you enjoy. Protection keeps one problem from turning into a bigger mess. Growth is the money you build for later. That is the order. Let me say it one more time. Stability, lifestyle, protection, growth. If your money is not moving in that order, confusion usually follows. Now let's break those down the right way. Stability is what keeps the house running. That is housing, utilities, basic groceries, transportation, insurance, minimum bills, and the things that keep the household going. This is not about impressing people. This is not about image. This is not about reward. This is what keeps the household going. Lifestyle is the money you enjoy. This is where some comfort lives. Eating out sometimes, streaming, clothing beyond basic need, convenience, and small comforts. Lifestyle is not bad, but it has to stay in its place. Protection keeps one problem from turning into a bigger mess. This is your buffer for car repairs, unexpected travel, missed work, medical problems, and temporary disruption. Protection changes the tone of bad news. Growth is the money you build for later. Retirement, investing, future-focused contributions, and money that is supposed to outlive this month. Now here's where people get hurt. A lot of people live more like this. Basics, lifestyle, more lifestyle, then panic, then maybe protection later, and growth gets whatever is left. That is not a plan. That is a leftover system, and trying to build your future off leftovers usually does not work well. So hear me clearly. Do not treat leftover money like future money. Do not call yourself stable if one repair can knock you off balance. Do not build lifestyle before protection. Do not wait to organize your money until you make more. Those are expensive mistakes. The point of this system is not to make life feel small. It is to stop smaller mistakes from turning into bigger pressure. Now let me show you that system with real numbers, because this is where people usually see themselves. Go back to Marcus and that same $4,000 take-home. Under the 4-part money system, the first question is not, what do I feel like doing with this money? The first question is, what does this money owe first? That is a different mindset. Say stability takes $2,500. That covers rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and the minimum required bills. Now Marcus has $1,500 left. This is where discipline matters. A lot of people mentally treat that $1,500 like open territory. It is not. It still has jobs. Maybe $500 goes to lifestyle. That gives him room to live like a human being without letting comfort eat the whole month. Now there is $1,000 left. Maybe $300 or $400 starts building protection, and maybe the rest begins going toward growth now or very soon. The exact numbers can vary. The principle cannot. The money has to move by responsibility. Now watch what happens if Marcus ignores that order. Let's say he lets lifestyle reach first. Now the takeout, the extra shopping, the subscriptions, and the convenience spending eat up $800 instead of $500. Now protection protection gets almost nothing. Now, growth gets pushed off again. Now the next surprise bill has nowhere to go except stress or debt. That is what I want people to understand. The problem is not always how much came in. The problem is often what got first access. Now let me clear up something important. A lot of people hear a message like this and assume I am saying you should never enjoy your money. That is not what I am saying. Lifestyle belongs in the system, but lifestyle is supposed to be supported by structure, not financed by denial. There's nothing wrong with comfort. There is something wrong with comfort outrunning your basics. There is something wrong with calling yourself okay when one small disruption can push you into debt. There is something wrong with looking good in the visible parts of life while the invisible parts are weak. That is not freedom. That is exposure. And this is why financial order can bother people. Can you actually afford this car, or are you financing a feeling? Can you really handle this housing payment, or are you trying to look established? Can you enjoy this level of lifestyle and still protect yourself? Can you build for later while living this way, or are you quietly stealing from your future to feel better right now? Those are real questions, and real questions need real answers. I'm not trying to make viewers feel bad. I'm trying to help people stop lying to themselves in expensive ways. Let me show you why this matters. Take two people making the same $4,000 a month, same city, same age range, same basic income. Let's call them Andre and Chris. Andre lets lifestyle grow first. Nothing dramatic, just a better car payment, a nicer apartment, more takeout, better looking upgrades, a phone plan that crept up, subscriptions he barely notices, and weekend spending that feels earned. Nothing screams disaster. That is exactly why this pattern fools people. Now look at Chris. Chris makes the same money, but he respects the order. He keeps stability tighter. He caps lifestyle instead of letting it drift. He starts building protection on purpose. He makes room for growth instead of waiting for some perfect moment. Now watch what happens. At first, Andre looks like he's living better. Chris looks more restrained. This is where a lot of people get confused. They think the better looking life is the stronger life. Not necessarily. A stronger life is the one that can absorb impact without collapsing. That is the real test. Same paycheck, different order, different pressure. And this pattern shows up at many income levels. $2,500 a month, $4,000, $6,000, $10,000. The numbers change. The disorder pattern does not. That is why some people can make good money and still feel like they are always recovering. The income went up. The order never did. Now let's put pressure on the system. A $2,400 transmission repair, or an $1,100 urgent care bill, or a $900 emergency flight to see family. Something real, something inconvenient, something that does not care how your month was going. Andre gets the bad news and immediately feels the heat. Checking is too light. Savings are weak. Rent is still coming. There is no real buffer. So the emergency goes on a credit card. And now the repair is not just $2,400. Now it is $2,400 plus interest, plus a card bill sitting there next month, plus less breathing room on the next paycheck, plus pressure, plus the money strain that keeps following him into the next few months. That is how one event becomes a season. Now look at Chris. Same emergency, same amount. But because protection was built before the problem, the event is expensive without becoming destabilizing. It still hurts. It still matters, but it does not take over the next 6 months. That is the power of protection. Protection does not make you rich. It makes you harder to shake. And in personal finance, that matters more than many people realize, because when people do not have protection, they usually make forced decisions. They borrow fast, they sell badly, they delay important bills, they rob next month to survive this month. Forced decisions are usually expensive decisions. That is why I push this point hard. Do not wait until the emergency happens to decide you need a buffer. By then, the lesson is already costing you money. Now let's go one layer deeper. This is not just about making the month easier. It is about who you become financially over time. I have seen people work for decades and still reach later life with too little protection, too little growth, and too little room. Not because they never earned and not because they never worked, but because the order stayed weak too long. And this is where basic finance and serious finance meet each other. People think handling a paycheck is one subject and retirement is another. They are connected. Protection in your 30s matters in your 50s. Growth in your 40s matters in your 70s. What looks like a small disorder early can become a dignity problem later. That part is real. Picture somebody at 65 who still has to keep working full time, not because they want to, but because the money never got enough structure to grow. That is what these early money decisions can turn into if people keep delaying order. If lifestyle keeps outrunning protection, growth keeps getting delayed. If growth keeps getting delayed, later life gets tighter. If later life gets tighter, people stay dependent on labor longer than they wanted to. That is why I do not treat these basic lessons like small talk. These are foundation lessons. If your money stays stays out of order now, you may end up needing help later. Organizing your money today can give you more options later. That is a serious difference. Now let's make this practical. Before your next payday, do 3 things. First, figure out how much money it really takes to keep your house running each month. Not the fantasy version, not the social media version, the real number. Write it down. Look at the bank statements. Run the number for real. Second, put a real cap on lifestyle. Not, I'll try to spend less. Pick a number, because if lifestyle does not have a boundary, it expands emotionally. Third, decide where protection starts. Even if the amount is small at first, the point is to stop acting like protection is optional. It is not optional. It is part of keeping your money from breaking down. And here's one more rule I want you to keep. Raises do not fix disorder automatically. If income grows and lifestyle absorbs all of it, nothing really changes. The order has to stay stronger than the emotion. In the next episode, I will go deeper into what this looks like in real life, how to separate it better, how to stop one account from lying to you, and how to make the setup easier to follow month by month. But this episode had one main job: to correct the way you see payday. So let's bring it together. You may be broke after payday, not because you do not work hard, and not always because you do not make enough. A lot of times, it is because the money comes in without a real plan for where it needs to go. That is the problem. The paycheck shows up. Relief shows up with it. Then the money starts moving. Bills, spending, pressure, and catch up. And if the money is not going in the right order, the pressure comes back fast. That is why this matters. Your paycheck has jobs. If it does not move in the right order, peace stays weak. So if this episode did its job, here is what I want you to sit with. When payday hits, where does your money start breaking down first? Is it the basics? Is it lifestyle? Is it protection? Or is it the money you should be building for later? Because wherever it breaks down first, that is where the real problem is sitting. And that is where the repair needs to start. And once you can see that clearly, you stop guessing and start correcting. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how money should actually be set up once it comes in, so you can stop treating one account like it is supposed to do everything. Because a lot of people are not just short on money, they are short on order. And once the order gets stronger, the money starts working better.